I felt my client was certifiably innocent. This could be the first.
Yeah.
Rehearsal footage of Michael Jackson is submitted as evidence of his well-being. It was recorded after the crisis meeting at Michael's house, and, according to the doctor, after he had started weaning the pop star off his reliance on propofol. 2 nights before Michael's death, Murray claims, he finally got Jackson to sleep without administering any propofol. Jackson's performances in those final days were a transformation.
He entered into rehearsal full of energy, full of desire to work, full of enthusiasm, and it was a different Michael. We had 2 very successful days at rehearsal. Michael was feeling great, and he looked at me and he asked me if I was happy, and I said I was happy, and I asked him if he was happy, and he said he was very happy.
As you now know, he never returned to Staples Center. Following that rehearsal, Michael was taken home, and he arrived home at about 1 o'clock in the morning. The question becomes, what transpired then from 1 o'clock in the morning till Michael's death?
Jackson was driven home by his entourage. Even at this late hour, his fans were waiting.
They would pull up to the front door. I would help opening his door. And the fans always gave him a lot of gifts, a lot of cards or flowers.
And he asked us to stop so that he can take some time to speak with his fans. So he spoke with his fans for maybe 60 seconds, and we would take the gifts and place them at his steps. And he would greet us before he went upstairs, good night, or whatever he would say.
He said good night, and that was it.
Was that the last time you saw him alive?
That's the last time I saw him, yes, sir.
It had been another good rehearsal. Jackson was excited but needed to sleep. At approximately 2 a.m., Murray says he administered some Valium and lorazepam, but refused to give him any propofol. At 3 a.m., the doctor gave him another drug, midazolam. Jackson still didn't go to sleep.
He was basically hysterical. He really could not sleep. And he begged and pleaded and asked me, please, please, Dr. Conrad, I need some milk so that I can sleep. If I don't get any sleep today, I could not perform. I could not do anything. AJ will be upset. Everything will basically go down the drain. He looked to me during that morning to be like the Thriller. Have you ever seen the Thriller image that when he was made up? He looked that hysterical. Now, I did not want to give him the medication because I'm trying to show him a different path. But here's the pressure that he puts on me now. He can't practice, can't go to concert. AJ is gonna be on him. The tour will fall apart. This is it. It's over for this man if he does not make this happen. I fought and struggled. I rubbed his feet. I felt such a weight. I was so worried about this man who is my friend, thinking about where AG promises future would lie. Wow.
Dawn. Despite the drugs Murray had given him, Jackson still couldn't sleep. Murray says that the singer retreated to his other private bedchamber.
You know, there were several times he would walk away from me and go to the other room. And to me, that was a break. That was a break. Because the longer he stayed away, the less I had to deal with the fact that I couldn't get him to sleep. After he begged and pleaded, I said, you know what? If I give him just a tiny amount of propofol, 25 milligrams, slowly infused, I may just tip him into sleep. And the other medications may now get a chance to work because he had a fair amount of medication on board. And the medications he had on board, I even told him before we got to that point, Michael, I can put an elephant to sleep. You're not, this is not normal. It's not normal. He fell asleep. I was very pleased.
It was 10:50 in the morning. Murray says he then watched over Jackson for 25 minutes. The effects of 25 milligrams of propofol wear off in about 10 minutes. At 11:15 a.m., Murray began making phone calls.
So it was not unusual for me to make calls or return calls during the morning hours while he was still asleep. It wasn't unusual.
His last call was to Sade, a waitress he had met recently. He never completed that call.
I said hello, hello, and I didn't hear anything. And that's when I pressed the phone against my ear and I heard mumbling of voices. It sounded like the phone was maybe in his pocket or something. It was shh.
Murray discovered Jackson unconscious.
He was not breathing. So my concern was, has those agents, the Valium, the Ativan, the Versed, acting in concert, has now overwhelmed him once he went to sleep. Not 25 milligrams of propofol.
Instead of calling 911, Murray attempted to revive Jackson. No one heard his shouts for assistance. He called Michael Amir, Jackson's head of security. No answer. He ran to get help.
I saw Dr. Murray come down the stairs into the kitchen in a panic and a frantic.
What did he shout?
Get help, get security, get Prince.
The first security guy that showed up finally when he realized there's an emergency comes to the door, and his name is Alberto Alvarez. He got to the door and he remained static.
I was reaching for my phone in my pocket, and as I was doing that, Prince and Paris came behind me. Paris screamed out, "Daddy."
And I told security to get the kids away from there. Get the kids away from them because I did not want them to see their father getting CPR or having such a resuscitative event.
Dr. Conrad Murray said, "Don't let them see their dad like this." And I proceeded to turn around to the children and kind of ushered them out and said, kids, don't worry. We'll take care of it. Everything is going to be okay.
And he says, "Oh, doctor, what happened? I need help. I am doing CPR. Mr. Jackson's not breathing. Come in here. Get me help. Call 911. I need you to call 911.
Sure. We have a gentleman here that needs help, and he's not breathing yet. He's not breathing, and we're trying to pump him, but he's not. Okay.
In addition to me doing CPR, chest compression, and trying to resuscitate this patient, I'm controlling him on the 911 call. How old is this patient? 50.
We have a personal doctor here with him, sir.
Oh, you have a doctor there?
Yes, but he's not responding to anything. No, he's not responding to CPR or anything, sir.
Oh, okay.
I said, tell them where we are and get the fuck over here. Get here, I need you, the car. Come on. Help me.
Sir, you just, if you can please.
We're on our way. We're on our way. I'm just passing these questions on to my paramedics while they're on the way there, sir.
Thank you, sir. He's pumping his chest, but he's not responding to anything, sir. Please.
Okay. We're on our way.
When the paramedics arrived, Michael Jackson was dead. In May 2010, Murray's Las Vegas home was repossessed. He hasn't worked in months. Even before the guilty verdict, Dr. Murray had started to reevaluate his relationship with Michael Jackson.
I do not think that he would have had an active intention to do me harm. But I think through his most intense desire to have me there with him, it was intertwined with a degree of betrayal.
Michael Jackson's death stunned the world.
We understand that pop star Michael Jackson apparently suffered a heart attack at his home in Holmby Hills right after about 12:30.
Confirmation tonight, pop superstar Michael Jackson has died at the age of 50.
7 different prescription medicines were found in his body. An overdose of propofol and lorazepam killed Michael. Over the course of the 6-week trial, the prosecution have made a compelling case against Dr. Murray. Their argument